Hey guys, it's Hash. Today I'm going to be going over how to go from vibe coding in a newly released game to having a fully working mod like I do here. As you can see, I'm flying around in survival. So to start off, we're going to want to go over to the official Hytale uh, documents and the unofficial Hytale documents. I've already forked them on my GitHub, so it's a lot easier for you guys to follow along. The current template slash structure I am making as well will be on my GitHub. There'll be a link in the description. So yeah, it'll be easy for you to basically copy and paste vibe coding mods. So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm writing the folder structure for the Hytale documents to essentially call in this AI brain. We'll call it the AI brain for now. Yeah. But essentially what this file does is it tells the AI how to work, what to do, exactly what we're acting as, essentially. Because as it stands right now, AIs don't have any idea, i.e., a clue, in what to do when it comes to trying to program game code for Hytale, for instance. Some of the reasons behind that is because the game doesn't use traditional like drawing methods like maybe XAML, which is a standard traditional method that we would use in say C# programming, or it doesn't use something like HTML, for instance, or some kind of basic scripting language that a developer could easily, you know, switch to, for instance, or like a developer, for instance. Games that do use this would be things like GTA and stuff like that, but they're written on C# and Laura, which there is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of documents for. As it stands right now, there is none. And this is why we need to set up the file structure. So that this file here that I'm viewing now essentially allows the AI to kind of know that there's some restrictions, some rules in place that it can't mitigate from. It can't, well, not mitigate, but essentially bypass. It has to follow these strict rules, essentially. And the way you call to it is you call to it via uh in the in the name, right? So as you're typing, you type file agents.md, and essentially when you then make a prompt, for instance, I want to make slash fly command, for instance, the the AI essentially gets, I want to make slash fly command, and then this pre-packaged list of essential commands, uh, information sent with it extra on top. So it would, you're essentially going, I would like a fly command, and then this MD file is getting sent alongside it. It's going, yeah, you want a fly command, but we are a high level like JavaScript developer that knows how to essentially do decompiling, right, and some magical stuff like that, right? But essentially, what you're going to want to do is come to this website, CFR, and you're going to want to scroll down to where you can download the latest version. And the reason to this is because the CFR app will allow you, or jar file, will allow you to decompile Java files essentially. So if you follow along everything I'm doing right now, you'll be able to decompile the server files and actually read the classes clear as day, right? The AI can also read it as clear as day because it has the command set to allow it to, but you also can view it as clear, readable text essentially via doing what I'm doing here, which essentially allows you to then spend 15 minutes looking for, say, a specific call. And the reason why you'd want to do this is because it actually saves you a lot of bug testing. It saves the AI having to continuously poll trying to find a specific clause or a specific thing. If you can identify what you're looking for essentially in the game's code, in the server classes essentially, you can save yourself a lot of headache. And the reason to it is because essentially the AI is not having to try and guess and look for it like you would. See, the AI doesn't have eyes, the AI has commands. So what the AI would do is essentially try and punch in a bunch of commands into your PowerShell, which then it would feed back a bunch of information, and then the AI has to decipher through that information. This adds on context to your prompt essentially. So like when you're coding with an AI, if the AI has to think essentially on how to even just get the information, you've just wasted say 2% of your context window that you could have essentially spent, say, having it actually code for you, or if you're having the AI plan for you, essentially it's the same thing here, right? It, yeah, but anyway, besides the point, as you've just seen me do, what I've just done is copied a bunch of files. This is essentially telling Visual Studio how to um, open and set up the respiratory, right? It's going in the build dot Gradle. It's going to be something entirely different than next level hash. It's going to say your name and your mod. You need to change it from saying your name and your mod, and the reason to it is because you need to make a main Java and a resources folder, essentially and a com and your name. Essentially, you would assign the .com and then your name. That is like your signature essentially on your code. It can be named anything, that folder. It doesn't have to be named your name. It's just in the class of the manifest. It has to match up to what the folder structure is from Java after com and so on and so forth. So if it's next level hash, it has to be java.com next level hash in the manifest, exactly like how you have it written. It's Java code. Java's annoying, but oh well. It's again, it's one of those. You just gotta live with it. What I'm doing right now though is I'm also giving it a folder structure, right? So I've given it commands and I've given it storage. So essentially, the reason why I've given it a storage is say if I want to save a bunch of information like waypoints or uh, items, for instance, or say if I want to save specific events, you would need to make some kind of storage to do so. You could, essentially the reason why you need the storage is because so you could then call to it in an event. So if you have it pre-stored, you could then go event, store, or you go. We're gonna make an event essentially to call to player spawn, for instance, and that event would then call to specifically the player function following, so on and so forth. That's why you would make storage classes, not only just that as well, to essentially allow you to create methods and call methods to create actual storage, like so again, JavaScript, so on and so forth. It's a bit more confusing, but it makes a bit more sense. Again, as you can see, I'm just going through here and rewriting my manifest JSON, but you would have to do the same here for yourself. Again, it's not going to say next level hash, it's going to say your mod. I'm going to upload this mod, everything in this package to the GitHub to allow, say, you to download it and start creating from code. Well, not code, but AI in, well, yeah, AI. AI in code, essentially, without much headache. And because it will teach you how code works as well, essentially, like how a function works or how a variable works, which is genuinely where AI becomes a true skill set and a true powerhouse, because it's genuinely a teaching tool. So that's the beneficial gain of AI. So yeah, inside Visual Studio, again, you're gonna want to do all the settings I've done at the very beginning. I installed Gradle into my Visual Studio. I installed a decompiler into it because this is what's going to allow me to go and look through, say, for classes. You're going to see that in a minute. Like, essentially, what I mean by classes and stuff like that. But yeah. So, what do I mean by you'll be able to search up for classes and stuff like that? This is exactly what I mean. So as you can see, I'm somehow browsing through some Hytale file structure, right? And as you can now see really quickly, I am just literally looking through every class that the game has, that the server can be invoked upon, that essentially what the AI would do. So as you can see here, I kind of found something that I was looking for, which was a velocity one, which essentially invoked when you invoke command, essentially you get sent up in the air. That's how that worked. And yeah, so essentially me doing that little bit of work saved my AI a good fair bit of context. So like as you can see here, it's like awesome, can I run commands now? Can I do this? But it doesn't need to do much. It doesn't need me to go, yeah, sure, go search my system. It already knows that. And yeah. So as you can see here, the slash fly command kind of works, as I was saying. It sent me 15 blocks in the sky. Um, in the end, I got it working like Minecraft spectator mode, where it de decapitates the person from their head and allows them to like fly in a free cam. Essentially, it's a bit interesting. But yeah. Anyway, besides the point. So what I'm actually showing you here is essentially how to bug fix and find out the issue why UIs ain't loading. So for instance, what I'm doing right now is I'm loading up the client logs of the game to find out where the issue lies in the UI element. And the issue lied that here was just a basic closing bracket, if I remember correctly, or something stupid like that. But essentially, what you would do is you would copy your client log that you would get in the game, and you would just copy it into the AI, and the AI would just read it and go, "Oh yeah, it's broken here." It's not too hard, but it's not too annoying either. It's just you have to go to one specific area inside your computer to find the client log. That's the only downfall. So I have essentially packaged it all up for the GitHub. All you have to do is go and fork it yourself and download it, and just do what I do in this little end bit here, and it'll be really easy to start making your own mods. This is essentially to say thank you for staying along to the very end. It's showing you what you have to do. But you can just ignore the bin file. You can delete that. That comes with build. All you have to rename is the src, right? And inside the src there'll be like a Java file, .com file, and then there'll be a folder called your name in big caps. You need to change the your name. It states it in the quick readme and setup. So again, if you don't want to listen to me yammer on for like the next 2 minutes, you can just skip this point and go, what, read the readme, right? But essentially all you have to do is rename all the your names, and it you can just do it. See, if you look into what I'm doing in the IDE, I am targeting your YORE name, which is wrong. It's YOUR name, your name, not your name. Oh well, it happens. So that took me a hot second to figure that one out. I was targeting the wrong thing. Like, so when I figured that out, you see a bunch of stuff just appear, like, ooh, it lights up like a Christmas tree, essentially, in replacements. What you have to do is just replace them all. You have to replace everything that just says your name, and just but also copy the buttons I did just press as well, because it targets everything that way. Um, but yeah, other than that, again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy building your mods, and well, yeah, thanks for watching anyway. Um, if you can, hit that like and subscribe button, that'd be great. Thank you very much. Have a great day.